everyone, welcome to Jackie's Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about The Curse of the Gods series. This is written by Jameen Eve and Jane Washington. There are 5 books to the series plus a bonus book that follows one of the secondary characters. I have read 4 of the books and part of the last one. I didn't finish the series. I think I just kind of got a little burnt out and I needed a break from it. But in whole, the series is really good. The names of the books, from first to last, is Trickery, Persuasion, Seduction, Strength, and Pain. And the other additional book is called Neutral. This is a fantasy romance with some action in it. Plus, it's also a reverse harem, which means that it's a girl and multiple dudes. Yes, there is sex in the book series, but it takes a couple books to have them, like, they're actually having sex. So I kind of consider it like a slow burn, but it is definitely an enjoyable slow burn, and there's like a lot of tension and anticipation to the buildup, which was really nice. So you follow Willa Knight. She is our main female character. She is a klutz. She's smart, like she's street smart. I don't think she's book smart, She's not book smart, but she is very street smart. And her adopted sister's name is Emmy. And they live in just like the outskirts of the civilization. Like past their town is a dead zone, basically. They have the worst living conditions possible. So it's kind of like what I would consider close to be Hunger Games world style. Not like that, but I mean just like the areas of living. So you have Blesswood, which is the city where the gods' children are, or like the people who have magical powers or abilities, kind of like little demigods, live there. And then from there, the outer rings, so the cities that go out, it's like the city next to Blesswood is really nice, and then the one next to that is like a little next, like a little less nice, and then the ring of cities around that one is worse, right? So it's really good in the middle, and then as it expands out, like the living conditions just get worse and worse and worse. Okay, so Willa is in her last graduating year. She sneaks into school, she fudges her paperwork, and she actually gets to go with her sister Emmy to Blesswood. This is a huge deal. It is a really big honor for dwellers, or basically people or humans that don't have any godlike abilities. To go to Blesswood, they get to serve these people, or like these little demigods who might be able to go into heaven, right? Or they get to move on. When they die, they move on, and they get to be gods. Now, when they die and they move on to the next place, they actually get to come back to that living realm, which I thought was really cool. It's not like they just die and disappear. They'll die, but then they come back, right? So in Blesswood, it's like this giant school or academy where dwellers like Willa and Emmy, all they do is serve food, clean rooms, do stuff like that. They're basically house servants and slaves, which, whatever. And then the demigods get to go to classes, eat, train, and battle each other. When she goes to Blesswood, she has the misfortune of running into the Apcurse brothers. Now, these are like the hotheads of the school. There's 5 of them. 2 are twins, and the other 3 are triplets. There's Conan, Rome, Yale, Sirit, and Eros. I think I'm saying right. So those are the triplets, those last 3. And all of these guys have special powers because they're like the little demigods of the school. But they run the school. I don't want to give too much away, but you find out some really interesting stuff about them, their past, where they come from, because they're different from the other kids in school. Now, unfortunately, Willa kind of runs into them in unpleasant ways and ends up getting into a bet with them. And she does this to kind of save her own skin, or at least she's hoping it saves her own skin, which it does. But she gets dragged along into this adventure they're doing because they want to go to like the heaven and steal something from the main number one god. Now, a series of events happens and Willa's soul gets split and she becomes soulbound to the five brothers. Again, there's so much to the story as it progresses and you see so much more into it. It's really interesting because not only do you have like the main earthly realm that they live on, but then you have like another kind of in-between realm, and then you have the god realm, and that one is almost, it's not like a whole different planet, it's just like a whole different continent. Like it has its own set of different mystical creatures and floating castles in the sky. It's very interesting, and they have these almost like robots. I can't remember what they're called, but it's basically like when we die, or I'm sorry, when we die. But basically, like if I was to die, they would take my body and they would turn me into, I mean, like a mindless servant. So my body would be there, and they would have me in, I don't remember if they were naked or in like weird jumpers, but you would just be like, yes, great one, what can I serve you? Like little kind of like empty shells of humans that are like robots, okay? So that has like a whole story behind it as well. This is a very interesting series. For me, the only cons in here, personally, is that I felt like the last two books were a little slower. The reason that might be a me thing though is because it took so long for them to come out that I had already moved on to other books, so I just wasn't as interested at that time. Again, I still haven't even finished the last book yet, so I don't even know how it ends. I've had like some people kind of spoil it for me, which is fine, that's whatever. But I definitely think you should pick this book series up. I almost feel like it's not hyped enough, and both authors have other books that they have written, and they are very well written. They're very good authors. So if this doesn't seem like something you want to read, I would definitely recommend maybe even looking at their other books, because they're both good at what they do. Now, I appreciate you watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any book recommendations, you can leave them in the comments below, but honestly, I still haven't caught up to all the books I have read for doing reviews for, so I might not get around to it, but you can still suggest it and I can still look at it. All right, everyone, have a good day, good weekend, whenever you're watching this, morning, noon, night, and I hope you stay safe and happy out there. Bye, everyone.